I'll bank on that. But my assessment of people thus far, unless shown otherwise, has not indicated anything different with him.
Okay.
With Kyle, that week that they came back from the IFS, and even the week before, started to indicate something a little bit off. Even with Joseph, the week before and the weeks before, where he was continuing to want to play double agent, I was like, okay, there's a little bit of a disconnect here. You know, I'm starting to see that there's something that I can't necessarily jive with there with him. It just, I've seen patterns, you know, throughout this game, and that is what's got me this far, I believe. I don't think that I've just happened to stumble upon being here. I think there's been decisions that have been made that have afforded me the opportunity to be here. So, and I would be completely fine if I get duped at the end, knowing that I made the best decision with the information that I had.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then shit, you know, you deserve the win.
Yeah. No, that absolutely makes sense. Could you see the jury potentially saying, "Where's the big move on your part?" if Turner was still in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I can very much see that. 100%.
Just thinking with the, you know, it would be Alyssa, then me. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that might be the only other thing that I would potentially think of. That they would, you know, just memorable there. I mean, Nicole was, she didn't win anything, but we all knew that she would be strong if she had stayed in the game, and that was your HOH, so that would be that too. But
and that's also in the case that Turner and I are sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
Right. Which I still feel like I would have a pretty decent amount of control over that decision, given the route that we could possibly take to get there. That's just how I personally feel about it, and I can see how you're like, nah, like I think it's going to be a lot more difficult, but I'm just very observant of when people have done well in certain things and when they haven't, and then I've also, you know, from the past seasons that I've seen, like looking at those three competitions as a pattern that's typically followed, and memorization of past events is something that is almost 100% in one of those final three competitions. And if Turner has not performed well in that, it just seems like a very logical decision to say, I want to be competing against him in those things, versus you or Taylor, where I could be assuming more risk in going up against the two of you.
Yeah.
And if I slip up once, you guys are going to take advantage of that and win and do the right thing by your game. Like, I get that, you know. So, and that's just where I stand on it. I mean, it's not like I think that the difference in like perspective can be very understandable, but this is information that I have soaked in, you know what I'm saying? And you're operating off of what you've soaked in. Yeah. And I just think it's just different information.
Yeah.
You know, that we soak in. So.
No.
But no, I don't, trust me, like I'm all about logical conversation.
Yeah.
None of this is like, like Brittany's talking BS. No, like what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know? So I am taking that in.
Yeah.
But I've also taken in a lot of info too.
No. And I get from your perspective, those points that you make, I get how that makes sense.